on YouTube? This is your boy OG Scoot. In today's video, I think we're going to cover two different subjects. The first subject we're going to cover is types of video game players. Now, I know you've seen your friends react a different way to a certain game, and we're going to dive a little more in depth with those ideas, explain each one, and, I'm going to show you my excellent acting skills, and I'm going to try to act out the best of my ability what each of them are. And we'll do a little close-up for that. Later we'll zoom out and I will talk a little bit more about that in depth and give you guys a better understanding which each of them mean and how they can apply to different video games and different types of players. So the third video we're going to cover today is why do we play video games? Now this is going to be a pretty broad generalization on why we play video games, and honestly there is a different type of player for each type of game, like the different types of video game players, but each player has a common thing in mind, and that's why they dedicate their time to video games. And so we'll dive a little bit in depth about that, and I will tell you all about it, and hopefully you'll love it and you'll love my acting. Alright guys, I'll see you soon. Yeah, basically I'm just on the box, to be better than everyone. I am the man, and I am going to show you I am the man. I will destroy you. Yeah, I know I'm cocky, but hey, I'm better than you. I'm better than everyone at this game. Alright. Whoa, this game is unreal. These graphics are great. You know what? Instead of doing the story mode right now, I think I'm just going to go explore. I want to find things that people haven't found yet. Yeah, alright. Yeah, wow, look at this diamond. I bet no one has found this before, or at least none of my friends have even seen it. Oh man, I can't believe I have all this loot. Do I really need 6 of the same jackets? Hey, why not, right? It might come in handy later. I could sell it and buy the same fern I have. I already have 4 of them, but hey, what's one more to the collection? Some people call me a hoarder. My whole house is actually filled with stuff. Maybe I won't be better than you now, but I guarantee you over time, I will climb the rankings and I will destroy everyone. I'm going to have the most championships and chell than anyone has. No one can beat my rank. Yeah, I'm just on here, hanging out, just talking to my bros. What's going on? Yeah, this party chat is awesome. Just hanging out. I'm not really trying too hard. Just want to hang out, talk to my friends, and try to have a good time. It's not, it's just video games. Who really cares? Alright, Echo Squad, what we're going to do is we're going to storm the beach, and we're going to take it over. John, you got to go over there and snipe. Bill, you got to go over there with your submachine gun and take out any incoming enemies. I will stay back and watch it, and I will give the game plan. Billy, you know what? You know what you're going to do? You're going to take out that ballistic shield and just storm the enemy beach and not let anyone get in your way. That's what you're going to do. I'm in charge right now, and I'll tell you what to do, guys. You know what? I know better than you. Wow, this world is amazing. I wish I could just... I guess I wish I could just live here. This is the best. I can't even get over all these beautiful graphics and these imaginary creatures. I wish I could just teleport through my TV and get there. There's nothing I would want more than that. I want to create a story with this world. I want to be involved. I want to be the story. Hey, John Doe, come over here, bud. Come on. Hey, is that Hank? Is that Hank over there? Get him over here too. Watch me destroy these noobs. Hey, ready? Watch. Hey, guys, come on. Oh, did you see that? The The guy's a freaking noob. He's a level 12. How is he killing me? How is this happening? Oh, man. Oh. Yeah! Did you see me take out his head? Yeah, good for us! Hey, did Hank see that or not? Come on, guys. You gotta watch me perform. Let's go. You know, a lot of my favorite games have puzzles and little activities to figure out. I feel like I'm actually getting smarter playing this game. Helps me figure out problem-solving skills and everything. That's my type of game. I like to figure these puzzles out and I feel rewarded after. Alright guys, OG Scoot's back. Alright, so if you got through that terrible acting, I'll explain to you what each of them meant. So the first person I talked about, or tried to imitate rather, is called the competitor. He plays the game to be better than every other player. Now I find it pretty common to see these types of players, especially with someone with a competitive attitude. The next person I talked about is the explorer. They play the game to experience the boundaries of the playing world and to discover what others do not know yet. So they really want to go and find achievements and get all that taken out instead of maybe doing the story or playing with friends. The third one is the collector. He plays the game to acquire the most stuff through the game. These types of people are, what we would generally consider hoarders. Fourth is the achiever. He plays not only to be better now, but to be better in rankings over time, or to have the most championships over time. These are really common in NHL or any type of sporting game where you can win a championship and be better than everyone because you can see the rankings. The fifth is the joker. He plays for the fun alone and enjoys the social aspects of gaming. Basically, he just likes to hang out on the headset, talk. He doesn't really take the game too seriously. The director plays for the thrill of being in charge. They want to orchestrate an event in the virtual world. Now, this is very common in sports games like NHL, setting up plays, or same thing with Madden or 2K. But you also find this a lot, and as I demonstrated, in war games or in first-person shooters. Seventh is the storyteller. They play to create or live in an alternate world and build narrative out of that world. They really like this world, and they would almost want to be in there instead of where they are right now. The performer plays for the show that they can put on for others. And I think I clearly demonstrated that. They're very vocal, they really dramatic with their actions. The last person I talked about was the craftsman. They play to build, solve puzzles, or engineer different things in the game. They're really in there for the aspect of the game of figuring out different things, and then when they do, they get rewarded for it. Alright guys, so I want to give you a little bit of my own input on the different types of video game players, and I guess from my own experience. So the first thing I've noticed is I personally can relate most to the competitor. It's the first person that we talked about. So, like I said before, he likes to play and be better than other players in the game. Now I can relate to this because when I play NHL or let's say Battlefield or any Call of Duty first-person shooter, especially online, I want to prove to everyone that I can be better. For first-person shooters, I want to have a better kill-death ratio. I want to be in at least the top 3 of the scoreboard, just because that's my competitive nature. For NHL, my club team has won 5 banners, and that's actually pretty impressive. I have not actually met another team that has played that much and that has won 5 banners. If you're curious, it's all about the W. Alright, look them up. But let's get back on the topic. when I'm out there on the ice, I want to be better than everyone. I want to show everyone that I am better. And I can really recall that because I get super into the game and I will get very angry if I'm in the penalty box or just commit something, some stupid turnover or whatever. One of my buddies that I play with, his name is It's a Cannonade. I've noticed the same type of player that he can be. He likes to compete and he does not like to lose, especially in NHL, and that is why he is our GM. So he kind of runs the team and he doesn't accept failure. And so he wants to go out on the ice as a team and perform better than everyone else out there. But I've also noticed with It's a Cannonade is that he does turn into a performer type video game player. I can see this because when people are around, his demeanor changes. He wants all the attention on him, and granted, he is an excellent NHL player, top 200 in the world actually. But he changes, and it's not bad, it's not good, but he becomes a little more cocky, and he wants everyone to watch him perform. And that's definitely okay because he deserves the recognition and all the accolades that he does get. But I've also noticed that my demeanor changes more so in different types of games. For instance, when I've played Uncharted, I turn from the competitive side more to the explorer. I want to go find hidden things. I don't really care about being competitive, mainly because I think it is a first person or a third person game, and it's mostly a story based game. There's not a huge element of online play. But besides that, I also kind of turn into the craftsman. I enjoy solving all these puzzles, and it really brings a sense of accomplishment to myself when I actually do finish these puzzles. I feel like I've overcome something, and it's a different feeling than when I score a goal or even get in the top 3 in the scoreboards of any first-person shooter. So I definitely notice a change in myself, at least, and It's a Cannonade. We do tend to game together quite a bit in person, but otherwise, when we're not in person, we'll talk over the headset. And I can also tell his demeanor changes over the headset too, which is quite noticeable. Then there's also games that I do become the Joker. I guess for these games, I know I'm not the greatest at the game, but I will, I enjoy it more for the aspect of talking to people. And I'll kind of get into a little bit about this area a little bit more in my second part of the video. But yeah, I like to just have fun and talk to my friends, and it's a good way to hang out when you're not really close to someone distance wise. So it's definitely a good time, and also I've met a lot of cool people on Xbox, especially on my club team in NHL. So I'm not the Joker then, but I do feel the aspect of the social dynamic of it. And which brings me to my last point about the different types of players. Now, each of these players you can probably identify yourself with, but you can also be more than one of them in one game. So, for example, someone can be the competitor and also the director. They're super in charge, and they're trying to tell everyone what to do, but they're super competitive about when they're doing it. So the dynamics can change, but you can still have more than one type of player in each game. Alright guys, I'm glad you made it to part 2 of the video. So for part 2 of the video, we're going to cover why do we play video games? And I kind of touched base on this a little bit earlier, but there's a different prerogative of different people about playing a video game. Now, no one would go out and spend $60 on a brand new game if they weren't interested in some aspect of the game. So let's dive deep in, and I'll talk about the 6 different types of reasons why people play video games, and I'll discuss it, and I'll give you a little bit of insight on how I think I play video games and why I do play video games, and I'll kind of talk about other people and why they do it as well. so stay tuned. So the first type of person and reason why people play video games is the arousal factor. Now, what does arousal factor even mean? Well, some gamers can enjoy the sensation of emotional stimulation as a result of fast action and quality graphics. Now, I personally think that this would be more towards a story-based game, and I think a lot of people can enjoy graphics, but that is their main concern. I guess how the whole game looks, and basically how the textures of different objects are. That's basically what they're more after. They want to feel excited about it, and they want to feel, the certain type of game that they're playing. They want to feel like it is meeting their standards of what it should be, at least. So the next reason I'm going to talk about of why we do play video games is the challenge factor. So gamers like to push themselves to higher and higher skill levels and achieve new goals and personal accomplishments along the way. Now these types of gamers, I feel like these guys are more of like the competitors, not necessarily like a joker by any means at all. So these guys like to unlock different things, and I guess they kind of want to be better than everyone else. That's what they're set out to be, but they want to push themselves to get better and better and better. So, for example, I bought NHL because a lot of my friends do play it, but I was never a big hockey fan. I don't even know how to skate. So, I wanted to tell you guys that I bought it and I was just gutless. I sucked so much. I didn't even know what I was doing out there. But I challenged myself to get better and better and better. I made the playoff squad for my NHL team, and I definitely contribute on the team. I'm the second leading person basically in every category behind It's a Cannonade. So I think there is a challenge factor that a lot of people want to do, and especially with games such as like Dark Souls, for example. Those games are very, very difficult, and I think a lot of gamers want to push themselves and feel accomplished and get better and better as time goes on. And especially with Dark Souls, it's not an easy game. You die a lot. So I think people like that factor of trying hard and beating their personal best records. So number 3 on the list is the competition aspect of games. So gamers like to prove to others who has the best skills and who can react or think the fastest. Even the score physically still allows for positioning of hierarchy. So these types of players, they want to prove to everyone how good they are. They want to play against each other, and it's not a simple competition. No, this is for bragging rights type of people. They want to be the best at the game, and it's different than a challenge, because with a challenge, I think it's more of like a personal aspect of it, like challenging yourself to get better. Competition is challenging everyone else and proving to everyone else that you are better. Which brings along fantasy. Video games allow gamers the ability to do things that they wouldn't normally able to do in the real life. And examples of this would be like flying an airplane, drive a race car, play a professional sport, hunt deer if they're in the city, or even an avid deer hunter would enjoy this aspect. Another example is killing a troll or something on Warcraft. So this applies to a lot of people because we necessarily can't get our hands on a Ferrari to drive at 140 miles an hour around a racetrack. This just isn't plausible in our day-to-day life. So we can escape to these video games and feel a sense of fantasy. Kind of like when you go to Disney World for the first time. You think it's almost real. Well, this is what the game is trying to emulate, at least for the player. They want to feel like they are a troll in a game and they can go out and destroy anyone that walks past them, or they could be the next LeBron James or Michael Jordan. They want to feel like they're doing something that they normally can't be doing in the real life. Diversion is 5th on the list. Now this is defined as Gamers use video games to avoid stress or other responsibilities, or sometimes just because there's nothing better to do. I find that this happens a lot in college, well, especially for me. Um, Obviously college is tough and time consuming, but it's nice to escape and divert my attention to something that isn't so demanding, that I can casually play for fun and, just basically have a good time and, not think about all the other stresses in my life. It is a really good diversion, and I can see why a lot of people do play video games for this reason alone. The last one I'm going to talk to you guys about is social interaction. Now, gamers use games to interact with friends and learn about personalities of others. Now, this is especially important for people that aren't really close distance-wise to each other. They can't just go over to each other's houses and play games with their best bros. So, games bring a whole community together, and you play, obviously, against a whole bunch of different people online. People from other countries, and even like obviously with different languages, so you get a whole mix of people playing video games, and it's really nice for people that are far away, that kind of feel lonely, I guess, and they feel like this gaming with the social interaction is also a good diversion from their normal life. So I think these two can coincide together very, very well. Social interaction is very, very important for games as well. So, I've already told you guys the 6 different reasons why people play video games, and I think a lot of people can really relate to many of these different categories, especially different times in their life. One may apply more than the other. But for me personally right now, I would say I play video games for diversion and social interaction. So, I'll talk about why I play for diversion first. Like I said, college is stressful, but this is a good way for me to not think about all the tests and quizzes and homework that I need to do. Not that I don't do those things, but it's a good way for my mind to catch a break and feel more relaxed. But I think this does, like I said before, coincide a lot with the social interaction aspect of this. I was new to the UMD campus and school last year, so I didn't really have a lot of friends. I came from St. Cloud State University, and it was a big change. Starting over basically at a new school is never easy for anyone, let alone college. And since it was my 3rd year coming in, a lot of people kind of already have their own cliques and groups that they hang out with. So I played a lot of video games for the social interaction aspect. I got to play games with my friends back in my hometown, but also my friends that I left behind in St. Cloud. And this really helped me personally, feeling like I did have a buddy around to talk to and hang out with, even though we weren't right next to each other physically. It was nice. I didn't feel I felt like I had someone there for me, and I've met a lot of cool people on NHL, for example, on my club team. So it's a good way to interact with other people. I really do enjoy this aspect, and even though now it's my 4th year and I have a lot more friends here at Duluth, I still play games for that social interaction just because my buddies live at least 3 hours away, so it's not like a quick pack up the Xbox and go to my buddy's house. It's a bigger ordeal than that, so I'm gonna just plug in my headset and feel like we're hanging out there. And social interaction does bring a lot of people together. Besides my friends, my girlfriend actually purchased an Xbox as well, and we play games all the time. We'll play basketball together. We'll play racing games together. Just basically anything. And I think it really helps even with a close relationship like that too, because you and your partner feel like you're doing something together, even though you're physically so far away. Skyping always does help, but it doesn't grasp the need of doing something together. So I think this part of social interaction in video games definitely brings people together and forms new bonds and makes people want to play the video game for the video game and the story, but also just to sign on and say hey to your friend.